Your Call Football puts you in control of a live pro football game. Call the plays on the field and climb the leaderboard to compete for cash prizes, all right from your phone. Prove you're an X's and O's genius by picking the plays you want to run while outsmarting the defense and keeping up with our coaches.
Once the ball is spotted, I really have to have what we call a bundle up in the screen for fans to start voting on. Fans then have 10 seconds to vote, and the majority of votes go to whatever play, and that's the play sent to me, and that's the play that's called.
Earn points for positive plays. Lose points for negative plays. You'll even get a coach pick bonus when your play pick matches theirs. Did the majority not pick what you called? If the play's a bust, you went against the grain, and you'll get a bonus for that too. Your Call Football is a game of skill, on the field and off. Compete against your friends in one-on-one, head-to-head matchups, or take on your closest friends, family, and play callers in a league challenge. The keys to victory are in your hands. It's all about what you will call in game situations. 3rd and 10 with a solid lead? Are you going to run, pass, or prove your genius with a play-action pass? What do you think the majority will call? What do you think your friends will call? Real football meets fantasy in this high-stakes play-calling competition, with real cash prizes awarded to players with the top scores and the most coins. This is the future of football. Shorter games, faster pace, and the fans will call all the shots. This season kicks off with live games starting February 25th. Don't just watch the game, control the action. Find Your Call Football in the Google Play and App Store.
Real game, real competition.
Real cash, get in the game today.
In my opinion, what makes a good play caller is someone that really understands the personnel in terms of who I'm working with. That's my quarterback, my running back, my offensive line, my receivers and tight ends. We want to be able to call plays that get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback really quickly and get the ball into the hands of our playmakers. We want points, we want touchdowns, we want a lot of scoring so the fans can have fun.
First, a coach has to find the strengths of his players and really formulate a philosophy that fits that strength. Because when a player is confident in what they're doing, it's a lot easier to call plays. And if a player is confident and a player is comfortable, then the plays that we give in the bundles to fans have a much better chance of being successful. Once the ball is spotted, I then put up what we call a bundle of plays on the screen. The bundle of plays will have 3 play options. Fans can vote on those plays for 10 seconds. After that 10 seconds is up, the majority of votes, whatever play is selected, is the play that comes to me. And that's what I send to the quarterback.
We're going to free up one of our wide receivers. We're going to create traffic where the defender has to run and clear through that traffic before he can get to his coverage. And that time, my receiver is going to get open. And so that's how we're going to get a touchdown.
We got 3 plays I can think of right off the bat that'll be, thinking of home runs and touchdowns and long yardage situations, dagger, razor, all go. I mean, those type of names, when you see them in the diagrams, they're to attack vertically. They're attacked to make big plays. They're designed to handle both coverages, so they're well equipped to defeat whatever the defense has called for us. I have an offensive playbook, we both do. We have a philosophy and plays designed that we'll implement. We might have to adjust it and create different types of plays to fit the strength of the players, which we will do. Our bundle should really match up where every play that you pick is going to put our players in a favorable position to have success.
You want to try to at least create bundles where the players are very familiar. And so when you put all of those plays in one bundle, you know that when the fans call that play, you already know that your players have a high level of comfort with those. And so for me, I think it's about comfort and familiarity.
Last week, the play of the game in week number 1, it was Vadley scrambling around and finding Briante Dunn for the touchdown and eventually the win. 14-0 as Team Grit defeated Team Power. The first loss ever for Merrill Hodge in Your Call Football. Solomon Wilcox got the win in his debut. It is week number 2 of Your Call Football here from Jacksonville, Florida, the practice facility of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Team Power against Team Grit. And we say hello. Justin Kutcher alongside Tom Luganbill. And Luke's, last week was your first time seeing Your Call Football in action. You've had the experience as a play caller, as a quarterback, as a coach, everything. What'd you take away from that?
What these teams want to do on early downs. When you listen to Merrill Hodge, when you listen to Solomon Wilcox, they want to run the football. They want to have a power football mentality, and then everything else is going to come off of that. So what I noticed in week 1 is with your 3-play bundles on those early downs, pay close attention to those power run sets that you're seeing in those formations. You might see a play trickled in there, Justin. More than likely that play is not going to be called on first down. So you got to get the tendencies and the strengths of what the teams are after week 1.
And there's a reason why you want to listen and why you want to get those tendencies because of this. The money that's handed out during these games, over $70,000 up for grabs. Each quarter we've got a payout, $500, $400, $300. Each game, $5,000, $2,500, and $1,000. And the end of the series, you could win $10,000. Of course, if you pick the perfect game, you could win $1 million. So real money being handed out here in Your Call Football. The leaderboard from week number 1, it was Oskandal, Tim, who won it. But look at how close we were for the final $5,000. 0.3 of a point separated first and second place, a difference of $2,500. And the winner was Tim Oskandal. What did he think of his first experience with Your Call Football?
I enjoyed the actual real-time feel of the game where you had the experience of calling the actual play. The coverages in which the coaches said that they were going to be playing cover 1 and cover 2, I thought was a really big advantage to know that. Down and distance, field position, those type of things that go into actual play calling really helped in that situation. Biggest thing I learned, there was a situation where there was I think Team Power was down by 14. Normally you would go for it down by 14, but everybody voted to punt. I voted to go for it. So I guess it's one of those things where it's more, you're just trying to get points and not so much about the overall who's going to win the actual game.
See, there you go, Justin. Tim's my guy. See, he's thought this thing through. He's thinking down and distance, area of the field. And most notably, as you listened at the end there, this is a team game, right? So you got to do what's best for the team. Not so fast. You're trying to get points. And that's a lesson learned by some of the first-time play callers for Your Call Football, is it's about doing what's best for you, not necessarily what would be the smartest call.
So there is an eye in team.
There is.
Unbelievable.
That's right.
All right, well, some of those players who may get you those points in this game number 2 are guys that you are looking out for tonight. One of them, the Team Power quarterback, Patrick O'Brien.
Yeah, and with Patrick O'Brien, it's all about taking what the defense gives you. You're going to have 2 sets of coverages, cover 1 and cover 2. You're not going to be confused by a lot of movement. There are no blitz and pressure packages. So what he sees pre-snap is pretty much what he's going to get, which means he's got to take what they give him. Logan Toley-Tillman, the big offensive lineman, number 60. He had a rough week 1 lining up against the defensive front that was ferocious for Team Grit. He has got to rebound this week and play much better if they hope to keep their quarterback clean. He's the starting left tackle tonight. Now for Team Grit, it was all about the defensive front and the quarterback. Vadley, who will likely play in the second half for week 2. He's kind of their closer. He brings an entirely different dynamic to the offense because he's athletic. He can create plays. He can take a negative and turn it into a positive with his feet. It is the only quarterback amongst both teams that can do that. And then Quincy Vassar, number 99. He's the main culprit for the problems along the offensive line for Team Power. A week ago, he ate Logan Toley-Tillman's lunch. They just couldn't block him. So there better be an answer for Team Power on offense tonight if they hope to keep their quarterback clean and move the football.
Well, Team Power will start on offense to begin this game. And again, in Your Call Football, there are no kickoffs. The teams start at the 35-yard line. The rules, in case this is your first time playing Your Call football, it's pretty simple and it's a lot of fun. 12-minute quarters. The teams have to go for first down if they cross the 50. If they don't cross the 50, they can punt. The punt automatically goes 40 yards.
And Justin, what I love about it, as the play caller, this is Your Call football, you're not going to have a lot of time to make that call. You're going to get 10 seconds. When you get that 3-play bundle, have some awareness of down and distance, area of the field, the personnel that's on the field, because you only got 10 seconds to make that judgment call. Josh
Robinson will start in the backfield here for Team Power. It is Patrick O'Brien at quarterback. And on first down, the handoff is to Robinson. Robinson able to bounce it outside, and he'll get a yard.
So again, there's that run power, heavy set on offense on early downs. That's what Merrill Hodge wants to do for Team Power. Now what's going to end up happening is you start seeing in your 3-play bundle is you're going to start seeing some play action pass come off of that exact look. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your 3 plays. The quick throw coming off of the play action and the heavy run look.
Again, what happens is the bundles go out. You get a chance to choose which play you want of the 3. And whatever the majority chooses, that is the play that the team has to run. It'll be 2nd down and 9. O'Brien is able to connect on his first pass to Tommy Streeter. And Streeter gets 6. 3rd and short coming up.
Tommy Streeter is a big, physical, tall receiver. This is just a simple curl flat concept. And this is what I talked about with Patrick O'Brien and Team Power. Take what the defense gives you. If it's there, get the ball out of your hands. You can protect yourself in pass protection as much as your offensive line can help you. So now you've got yourself a 3rd and short situation. Think about what the mindset would be. You got 4 downs, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to take it, you can still punt from here, but you don't have to. So you're thinking you may have 2-down territory.
And don't forget, Merrill Hodge, he likes those slant plays, those slant routes for his receivers to get his quarterback, Patrick O'Brien, in a rhythm. In motion is Chuck Jacobs, one of the guys that Merrill Hodge has singled out to us in our meetings on 3rd and 3. Terrell Hamilton goes in motion to the other side. O'Brien's going to step up and try to run for it, and it looks like he's going to be stuffed at the line, met there by Pierre Tucker. So now a decision time for you fans at home.
And this time they set up the back to help Logan Tully-Tillman, the left tackle, but it's the right side of the offensive line that breaks down. And as I mentioned in our open, Justin, this isn't a quarterback position for either team outside of Vad Lee that's going to bring you that dynamic run aspect. So if they can continue to rush the passer and force Patrick O'Brien to pull the ball down, that will be an advantage for Team Grit on defense.
There was the punt option in the bundle, and 65% of the fans have chosen to punt. So now we're going to move the ball 40 yards. And we saw a glimpse of some of the fans here in attendance who are playing the game. 65% have chosen that. Guess what? That was also Merrill Hodge's choice, and not really surprised either. A game of field position, especially early on.
Yeah, line up and play defense. You were able to actually move the football more effectively in those 3 plays than you did arguably the entire game in week 1. So some things to build on, but let's not be risky. Let's play defense and force the other team to move the ball on us.
And Trenton Norville will start at quarterback here for Team Grit, as the ball will be placed at the 18-yard line, excuse me.
And this surprised me a little bit. I thought they would go with Vad Lee for the course of the entire 4 quarters, but they're going to continue to split quarterbacks with Trenton Norville getting the start. His 2nd consecutive after week 1.
We'll draw to Khalid Abdullah, and Abdullah had a good game last week as he gets a good run here on first down, picks up 5.
Yeah, Khalid Abdullah is their feature back. He's their bell cow, and this is a really nice lead draw that they've got with a second back in the backfield. Very shifty. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pass play come in here. This is an area where they've got an opportunity to hit the quick passing game, with one of their 3-play bundles. You see the coaches there getting the plays from the fans, calling it in. And let's see which play was called and if it was agreed upon by the coaches. And again, we do have a pass play called by the fans.
It was not the pass play that Coach Solomon Wilcox wanted. A little miscommunication as TJ Martin turned in.
So one thing we saw right there, Justin, and I will reiterate that throughout the course of the game, you're only going to see 2 coverages on defense, cover 1 and cover 2. Now, cover 1 is going to be a man-to-man, single high free safety defense, but the defense can press the receivers, and what we saw right there was the receiver for Team Grit not being able to get off the football, really know where to go with the ball right there for Trent Norville.
So 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 5 here for Team Grit on their first possession of the game.
It's an obvious passing down. Most fans will take the pass here, depending on which.
Norville rolling out to his right, being pressured, throws across his body, a dangerous play. And it's incomplete. TJ Martin couldn't hold on. And now I'm going to say, do you want the free points here?
What's that?
If you want free points, I would say choose the punt.
Choose the punt. If it comes up, choose the punt right now. And the play call.
The kick is in there as a field goal. I don't think we want the field goal.
Pick it, fans. Fans, they mean punt. Kick it. There we go, and that's what we get.
%. They got stumped there because they're like, wait, if I say field goal, are they going to try for the field goal right now?
Don't worry, we reassure you. We're going to blame the coaches on that one. They put the field goal unit on into the bundle instead of the punt. But I like the thinking right now of the fans, and we saw this in week 1 too. Understanding down and distance, understanding when the heavy rundowns are, and then how to do play action pass off of it on 3rd and 5 or less.
And on top of that, what we've seen now from week 1 and in week 2 is the fans are playing a bit more conservatively than they did last year.
Well, and they're playing the percentages because most fans love it when the ball's in the air and you're throwing the ball deep. But you know what? Those are low percentage completions. So you've got to be able to understand that on early downs, it's about getting positive yardage, getting your offense into a rhythm, and then you can step back and pick and choose those moments to go downfield with the football. Look at the leaderboard right now. 4 different people with the exact same amount of points. 14.1 points for 4 different people here so far in the first quarter.
There's a timeout being taken here by Team Grit. And I'm almost wondering if the timeout that was taken was to correct the play, as they're going to move the ball back. And the reason why I ask if there's a timeout is because it was a field goal in there, not a punt.
Sure.
So do they have to call a timeout to fix the play and put a punt in as opposed to a field goal attempt?
In order to get the points?
Yes.
Apparently so. And you know what? Not even technology is perfect.
There's the punt that's now in there.
Yep.
So I know what many of you may be thinking, and maybe this changes just a little bit because now I'm going to say the majority or everybody should select punt because we know that's what they want. And by doing that, 91% of you, so I still wonder what the other 9% of you were thinking. There was a timeout taken. I really hope you, sir, chose punt because we already knew what the coaches and what the teams wanted to do.
That's exactly right. And keep in mind, as we talked about when we came on air, it's not necessarily about making the call to go with your heart. It's about making the call to go with what's going to get you guaranteed points.
I'm going to say this. I don't know if I would trust those 9% in the Wonderlic test. Okay, so now it will be Team Power's ball. Their second possession of the game. No score here. The timeout was taken to fix that play call. Levance Taylor is in at tailback here for Team Power.
This is going to be heavy run. It should be heavy run.
It is the handoff to Taylor, and Taylor cannot escape the grab of D. Brown. A loss of 7 on the play, and that will be big for somebody who is picking against the grain.
Yeah, this is sprint left draw, and again, Team Grit's defensive front just too much with 97 D. Brown against Logan Tully-Tillman, who's actually correctly doing what he's supposed to do there in relationship to what the execution is of the play call, but there's just too many red jerseys penetrating that offensive front.
The offensive line was a problem for Team Power last week.
On the stop, number 27.
And now on 2nd down and 17. For Team Power, you have to wonder, how do they get some positive yardage?
And this puts them in an obvious passing down, not to get all of it back at once, but try and get half.
And a flag. It's going to be a false start, so moving back 5 more yards and negate that play call as well.
False start, offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's against Tommy Streeter, the wide receiver. Our referee is Trey Blake.
Unfortunately, a similar start this week to the start to the game last week for Team Power. Now, you see in the 3 bundled plays that you have right there, always keep this in mind. If you see in a 2nd or 3rd and long situation and one of your play calls is either 4 or 5 verticals, pick that play, because with the defensive coverages, you can only be in cover 2 or cover 1, and right now they're going to be in cover 1. So you're going to have 4 verticals or 5 verticals, and no backs have a chance to hit one down the seam.
O'Brien pumps. He's got a man, and that ball is incomplete. It was in the hands of Blake Mack. It would have been a phenomenal catch.
Blake Mack's really the best playmaker for Team Power. This ball's thrown a little bit late, and Jaquez Bryant, number 24, ends up making the play. He's trailing here, but if this ball is thrown to the outside and up the field, there's a chance. But that's just good coverage over the top with a single high safety, and Jaquez Bryant, 24, finding the football late. Shaquille Lewis, number 22, safety over the top, flying over.
So now it's 3rd down and 22.
Not a lot of plays in the book for 3rd and 22, Justin.
No, but 46% of the people agree on what they want.
They want to throw it.
Trying for the hard count. And that pass is complete to the far side to Tommy Streeter. A pickup of just 4, so I'm going to say punt is coming up next.
And it should come. And listen, I think that Merrill Hodge is a little bit hesitant given the state of his offensive line and the struggles that they had in week 1.
That's what I'm talking about.
When you get that down in distance and you're in line to gain, it's hard to sit there and say, okay, well, let's go to the intermediate deep passing game, because you're worried about whether you can protect it or not.
Well, 95% have now chosen punts. So we're getting closer. We still have yet to have a play call that I can remember that has been 100%. That's about as close as I could recall.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I want to see how conservative the fans are at home. No first downs yet here in this opening quarter of game number 2. 4 total games in this series. And the winner of the overall series will win $10,000. Second place gets $5,000. Third place, $2,500. Over the handoff and tripping in the backfield is Briante Dunn. I think Dunn tripped over the foot of his quarterback, Norval, and it's going to be a loss of 4.
Yeah, they were wanting to run counter here, and you just see the footwork at the mesh point get tripped up, and both of these teams just struggling to find a rhythm offensively. What can go wrong has gone wrong. And, you know, coming into this matchup, seeing what we saw last week, I was a little surprised that they started Trenton Norval at quarterback. He was largely ineffective in week 1, and then Bad Lee comes in the second half and just really changed the game. And so looking forward to seeing him in the second half. But right now, this Team Grit, and Team Power for that matter, they've got to come up with some answers. If you're going to call pass play, it better be something that is simple and short and underneath.
Second down and 14. Norval throws across the middle, completes it to Chris Hubert, and Hubert is down at the 49, a pickup of 19.
Really well executed play right there in the passing game, well protected. Chris Hubert, who made a spectacular play a week ago, is kind of becoming the go-to reliable playmaker. He's on that dig route and loses the football there at the end. Fortunate to recover it. So now we're 1 yard away, folks, for being in 4-yard territory. We are 1st and 10 right now, so be thinking of that as you're choosing your play calls. You want to be able to run the football, get the first down, and get into four down territory once you cross the 50.
Now you might be saying, did he fumble? The knee was down as the handoff is here to Briante Dunn. Gets tackled for a loss of 1. O.J. Mao with a tackle for the loss. But what I want to go back to is that play would not be reviewable.
Right.
The scoring plays are reviewable. We do have a replay official for that, Steve Strimley. But that last one would not have been reviewable, so you get to choose again here on 2nd down and 11.
Right now, Team Grit, as opposed to a week ago, struggling to get movement at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of confidence right now in the run game on 1st and 2nd down. So if you're feeling like the coaches, you're feeling like Solomon Wolcott says, you know what, let's get back to this short passing game. Maybe you start giving more credence as a fan to calling some early passing game stuff to the short and intermediate areas.
On 2nd and 11, Norville going to the sideline to his running back, Kendall Lawrence, who is a guy that Solomon Wolcott said is a really good receiver out of the backfield. He just got 15.
Yep, and this is their little kind of wheel route out of the backfield, thrown to the back shoulder here. And again, good execution. So if I'm looking at this offense and seeing their struggles in the run game, let's keep this passing game in rhythm right now. I know it's an early down, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. You see Tom Rossley there, longtime NFL assistant, head coach at SMU at one point. He was the offensive coordinator, recruited Johnny Manziel at Texas A&M. He's calling the plays here for Team Grit, and you fans agreed with him on the last one. Let's see if he keeps it up in the passing game.
The fans have elected a run. Briante Dunn up the middle. Well, all that passing paid off with that run, opened up the gap for 8 yards for Briante Dunn.
Yeah, loosened things up there in the middle, and this is just your downhill ISO play and really effective. Briante Dunn's kind of the big workload back. He's a little bit of a different stature compared to some of the other backs, Abdullah and Lawrence, but he's a guy that can bang heads in there between the tackles.
Out of Canton, Ohio, played at Ohio State. 2nd and 2 coming up, 6th play of the drive here for Team Grit, trying to get on the board first again after shutting out Team Power last week, 14-0.
All right, looks like we're gonna have cover 1 again. So man-to-man coverage.
Norville's gonna throw this one away as he was being pressured by Willie Mays.
Big number 9 along the defensive front. You see him coming off the edge, and he just waits. I think Trent Norville flushed the pocket too early there. Should have had a little more patience, could have hung in the pocket and let that play develop. Instead, he ends up vacating and actually runs into the pressure.
So 3rd down and 2. 0.6 of a point right now is a separation between 1st and 2nd place here for this opening quarter with 2:17 to go. Remember, $500 for the 1st place contestant, $400 for 2nd, $300 for 3rd. Norville on 3rd and 2 completes the pass to Brett Thompson. And Thompson gets a yard, a big-time tackle by Bobby Baker, and now decision time for the fans.
That's just a really good tackle there. Bobby Baker, number 25, coming up, and you've got 4th and 1. You've got to pick something here.
You could go for the field goal. It would be a 45-yard field goal from here. And now remember, Solomon Wolcott has said if he puts a field goal option out there, he wants that.
He wants it. He wants points. And I think he feels confident enough. And look at what the fans have done right here.
They listen on social media.
That's right. Take the points.
So it's Mike Weaver out of Wake Forest on for the 46-yard field goal attempt. Weaver from 46. And Weaver hooks this one. No good. So now all those fans who did not choose the field goal, they're loving life right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was the direct result of a poor low snap that was mishandled by the holder. And I think anytime you see that, right, wrong, or indifferent, it alters the approach. You see this ball's going to be low, and then it's bobbled there a little bit. And it can create just a slight hesitation for a kicker, and in that instance, ended up pulling it wide left.
So a missed field goal leads to a first down here for Team Power. Still scoreless game with 1:02 to go.
All right, the draw play is something that this team really likes. They like it on early downs. You give a passing formation and grouping look, and that's what you get.
And Silas Red on the carry. Silas Red with a good run. That's the first down for Team Power of the quarter as Silas Red got 13.
That's a good play call because you give a passing formation and a passing game look. And nice job by Silas Red, locating the open crease there in the B gap between the guard and the tackle. Some good blocking downfield. Now you've got 2 pass plays and a run play in your bundle. I know which pass play I'd pick. It's not even close.
Well, let's see if they're going to run another play in this quarter. Because if not,
right,
there's 20 seconds to go. The play clock's at 26. They don't have to run another play.
And whoever's in the lead right now is saying, don't run another play.
Well, guess what? They're going to run another play, and it's a pass play. It's caught by Chuck Jacobs, who got hit right away by Tyron Holloway. And that will be the final play of this quarter. So we will take a look at the leaderboard in just a second to see what we have. But I'm going to make a prediction. It's going to be really, really tight yet again.
Oh.
And if this is accurate, and again, we have to look at all these scores, but right now it is 1/10 of a point between first and second, and then second and third. That's amazing.
That's unbelievable. It really is in relationship to just how close this was. And to your point, Justin, deciding to whether or not to run a play to end that quarter or not alters the score.
And they didn't have to run the play.
Sure.
They could have let the play clock run down. Well, what a first quarter it was. Adidas has returned as the official uniform and apparel provider of Your Call Football. It is only fitting that Adidas, a brand dedicated to driving creativity in sport, is backing one of the most innovative platforms in sports, Your Call Football. And Your Call Football is proud to be partnering with Athletes for Care. Founded by former professional athletes, A4C is uniting athletes as one voice to advocate for research, education, and compassion when addressing important health issues. They're the only nonprofit organization empowering legendary athletes from every sport to use their influence to improve global standards of health, safety, and quality of life.
Understanding head impact. It's a major sports storyline. Your Call Football has partnered with an innovative Minneapolis company, Prevent Biometrics, to monitor the impact player's experience in real time. Every YCF player has been outfitted with a custom-fit Impact Monitor mouthguard, helping coaches and trainers gain critical, timely feedback and keep players safe.
Well, here's what's really unique about it. It's going to give us statistical information to validate how much better and safer the game is.
Back here as we get set to start quarter number 2. This was the leaderboard I was talking about. Matt W8 just won $500 by a tenth of a point over Lone Wolf 215, who won $400 over a tenth of a point over Gravinaugh at 42.3. It is amazing how close the scoring is in all these games.
Well, it is, and again, so much of it is you start to get a feel for both of these teams, what their strengths and what their weaknesses are, and then you get your 3-play bundles before each and every down. You're going to become more educated on how the coach is thinking, and that's going to then influence the decision that you make, which is going to increase your points. There's no guessing. If you're just going to sit there and guess at this, you've got to kind of study up on what these teams are doing, good and bad, and how the coaches are thinking.
Well, here's one of our trivia questions. Who holds the record for most career rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history? A little bit more difficult. I don't think it's Tom Brady.
They ain't the one in the middle, I can tell you that.
I know who I'm going with.
I do too.
I'm going with Cam Newton. All right, so as we start the second quarter, it is Team Power in Team Grit territory. And again, each quarter starts anew for the scoring and the payouts. However, there is the overall game, which obviously is the total game, and that's where you get $5,000 if you win overall.
And now Merrill Hodge there, head coach of Team Power, waiting for that call to come in. We've crossed the 50-yard line, so again, just a reminder, we are in 4-down territory. There is no punting from here on out. We got 4 wides and a single back.
Silas Red takes the handoff. And Red will get a yard. Tackled by Pierre Tucker and Toby Johnson.
No, this is the run game. If you played or you watched last week, the defensive line for Team Grit and Red was so overpowering for Team Power that they couldn't just run their normal counter and power and ISO run game. So now they've resorted to the draw. So they make everything look like a pass, a little bit more finesse.
And now don't forget, because they have crossed the 50, this could be 4-down territory as opposed to kicking the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick O'Brien still in that quarterback. O'Brien, the quick pass. Nice move here made by Jordan Reed, and Reed with that move will get the first down as he gets 10 here on 3rd down.
That's exactly what Merrill Hodge wants out of his quarterback. See it pre-snap, take what the defense gives you, and get the ball out of your hand. This team, Team Power, a week ago really struggled with that concept. He's saying, look, guys, they're in 2 coverage, cover 2 or cover 1. We're going to have plays in there that have built-in cover 1 and cover 2 beaters. So when you see it pre-snap and all of a sudden nothing changes post-snap, just get the ball out of your hand. Really good job there by Patrick O'Brien.
First and 10 here for Team Power. Merrill Hodge, you know he wants to get the win here tonight. After suffering his first loss in York Hall football history last week, wasn't happy with his team's performance. Quarterback run. Good run here by O'Brien. And the team was looking for a flag on Trey Mitchell as O'Brien gets 7 yards. And now some of the guys having some words. It's the first time we've seen this in York Hall football.
That's why they got those special mouthpieces, right? It's a really good call. So this ends up being lead draw. It's just a lead for the quarterback.
Well, O'Brien certainly went into the slide, and the hit came up high by Trey Mitchell. What do you think?
Well, when you look at some of the angles, he actually hit him in the arm. He hit him in the left shoulder near the deltoid, the side of the arm. The angle and how it looked when it happened in real motion looked like it was, you know, crown of the helmet to the head or neck area, but it really wasn't.
So now it's 2nd down and 3 with Silas Red in at tailback. The handoff to Chuck Jacobs, and Jacobs is being contained, trying to get around just to get something back to scrimmage is going to lose 5 on the play. That was one of the closest play call selections we've seen yet, and that goes for a big loss. By the way, the first quarter cash prizes, they're presented by Prevent Biometrics, the official impact monitor provider of Your Call Football. And again, that first quarter, it was so close in the scoring. 1/10 of a point separated in the first quarter, and now I talk about close scoring. How about what we have going on here in quarter number 2?
Well, look at the participation too, Justin. This is 5 different players of Your Call Football as opposed to what we saw out of the first quarter. So we're seeing some different faces, different names in there, getting a feel for it. And a big down coming up here because this would be a long field goal. Again, you can't punt.
It's third down. The fans have elected a pass, and that pass is incomplete for Chuck Jacobs. That ball was wobbling out of the hand of Patrick O'Brien.
It'd be interesting to see if Merrill Hodge, as part of his play bundle, has a kick, and he does.
Yeah, this would be a 51, 52-yarder for Josh Gable.
Yeah, and he feels confident that this could be doable.
I'm going to make a guess that the fans are going to go with the kick.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, even though they just saw the last one being missed by Team Grit, okay. And they're going to get it.
50% wanted the kick. It's going to be a 50-yard field goal attempt here for Josh Gable to give Team Power its first lead of this series. And Gable from 50 has got it. 3-0 Team Power leading, 8:17 to go here in this second quarter.
Got a hold of it good, great approach, nice and clean.
And what was also interesting, obviously there's no rush here in Your Call Football on the kick. And did you see how Gable waited for that ball to be put down?
There's no rush. You just hold your water there, son, and make sure everything's clear and safe.
Make sure laces are out.
That's right.
All right, so 3-0 Power leads. Team Grit will take over at their own 35. Again, no kickoffs. We start at the 35-yard line. Kendall Lawrence is in at tailback now here for Team Grit. The handoff is to Lawrence, tries to cut it back, and Lawrence will pick up 4 yards to the 39-yard line.
Starting to see a trend with both teams here going away from their power run game because they don't feel like at the point of attack they can hold up in their offensive line, and choosing to go with the draw game gives them a little bit more of a chance to win at the point of attack, let the back find himself a crease, get that pass rush of the defense moving upfield, use it against them.
Strong right, roll pass right.
Go inside the huddle, listen to him. 63% have chosen this play. On second down and 6, Norville rolling to his right. Norville dumps it off at the last second, incomplete to Khalid Abdullah. Did not get 2 feet in bounds.
Yeah, on that play, Justin, he was hoping number 1, Gary Brown, who's going to be coming across. You see him look back for him, and he's not there. So he had Abdullah early, and he could have dumped it, but he was hoping to get the crossing route. You're going to see number 1 from the right to your left. He may not even enter the screen. He should be over and across the field. That's who he wanted to go to. Just had a bust there from a wide receiver off the backside.
Trenton Norville, 3 of 7 so far for 35 yards in this game. It'll be third down and 6. Norville. Incomplete. That ball is dropped by TJ Martin. It was in his hands. You got to make that catch.
Really well thrown ball. You've got to make that catch. The timing, the anticipation, throwing the ball to a spot, snap your head around. quickly pluck the football. That's just poor execution and a really good throw. That's a wasted opportunity for this team grid offense.
TJ Martin out of Washington State. What would Mike Leach think about that?
He would have pulled him off the field and put somebody else in. There's one thing they got no shortage of there in Pullman.
Well, because of that, the fans have said, let's punt.
You smart, pesky fan, you.
You're learning.
Yes, sir.
87%. We're giving you clues, right? We know when the kick comes in, take it.
We're trying. Yeah, we're trying.
Here's a tweet. Kind of love this. It's like HQ, but football and more gritty. You're darn right.
What I like about it, too, is the limited time that you get to select the play. Because, you know, if you're in a stadium and you're watching a game, whether it's college football, whether it's professional football, you don't have a true sense of time. You think you have all this time, but when you actually have to make the call and the play clock's running down, it is fast, and you've got to make quick snap decisions, and you've got to have the personnel right and the grouping right and the formation right and get the call in. And now you're the one making that call, and you've got to make it quickly.
Patrick O'Brien led his team down to a drive last time that resulted in 3 points. Here on first down, the handoff is to Robinson. Robinson with a good run here on first down, and a late flag comes in as well. It's a 13-yard run. Let's see what happens at the end of the run for the flag. Again, the referee is Trey Blake out of the ACC.
Holding, offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
That's against Tommy Streeter, one of the wide receivers.
And they've really been blocking well on the perimeter. In the run game that's bounced to the outside, they've had really good production blocking on the perimeter. Did a nice job by the tight ends logging the edge right there. And then you're going to see on the left side of your screen, when those hands get outside and you see him grab that cloth off of the shoulder blade, you're going to get that call every time.
It's going to be 1st and 8 from the 23 now after that penalty. Josh Robinson still in there at tailback. Handoff is to him up the middle. And that middle gap got closed pretty quickly. He gets 1. Boomer Mays with a tackle.
10.
By the way, I think I'm more impressed the fact that Merrill Hodge is going with no jacket here this evening in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I did not approve these temps. This is, and you, I mean.
Well, I mean.
You got a full-blown daffodil over there.
Sorry, I'm making sure my nose doesn't run for you.
No kidding.
Now 2nd down and 7.
Cover 1, man-to-man, press across the board.
So what do you like against the cover 1?
Draw.
They're going with the pass, the slant, and it's complete to Correll Hamilton, and Hamilton fighting for extra yards. He is going to get 12.
And the fans called that too, and that is one of Merrill Hodge's favorite play calls. That's a really well-run route right there, stemming the defender to the outside. And Correll Hamilton really doing a nice job creating separation. And Merrill Hodge loves the slant route. He says he's got a lot of players, Chuck Jacobs including others. He feels really good about the slant route. Now I like this set of this bundle here because, again, versus cover 2, versus cover 1, if you see 4 verticals, that is designed to beat both of those coverages.
Why is that?
Because the voids that are left open in those coverages are where the receivers are attacking. So right now you're going to get cover 2. You should have either one of the 2 slots open or the 2 outside guys open in the hole.
Well, that's going to be a flag, and it should be encroachment. Unabated to the quarterback here.
Encroachment, defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So to elaborate on that, if you get cover 2, which is 2 high safeties and 2 squat corners, and you run 4 verticals, 2 go routes on the outside, 2 go routes on the inside. Those 2 go routes on the inside are going to put pressure on the safety. The safety's either got to stay on the hash to defend that, and if they do, now there's nobody defending the outside go routes. If the safety decides to leave the hash and get outside to defend the outside go routes, now those 2 inside guys are open. So it's a very easy pre- and post-snap read for the quarterback based off of the safety movement.
Well, the fans will stick with what they chose on first down before that penalty. It's a quarterback draw. O'Brien slides again. And he slides right by that first down marker.
That time he slid and ducked his head.
Yeah, he's a quick learner.
Yes, he is. Good block by Will Dancy up front, creating a little bit of a gap there. See number 62 at the right guard position.
Second down and less than 1 here for Team Power, coming up on 4 minutes to go here in this second quarter. And that's how quickly these games move here in your call football.
Yeah, it's fast-paced, and again, you got to make the play quickly, and then what you hope is that that play gets to the line of scrimmage, and you get a lot of plays being run to give you more opportunities to generate points.
Well, that's if you're behind. If you're in the lead,
yeah,
fewer plays. 71% of the fans have gone with this. It's the run. Trying to bounce it outside when he only needs 1 is Josh Robinson. He'll get the first down. But I don't know about you, Tom. To me, when it's that short, don't you want to see a guy plant and go?
Yeah, and let's look at it from the behind. If he could have, and I think he saw a linebacker right there, 45, in the hole initially, but when he bounced it, you ended up seeing Boomer Mays bounce with him, and then he was able to just fall forward and lower his pads. But yeah, he should stick his foot in the ground, get those shoulder pads north and south, and get downhill.
Josh Robinson, 4 carries, 17 yards for Team Power. As they're approaching that 50-yard line. They're at the 48 right now. Team Power does have both timeouts remaining. The handoff to Silas Redd, and Redd able to spin away from a couple of would-be tacklers in the backfield and somehow manages to get 1.
Now keep in mind, that's twice now that we've seen the sprint draw struggle. One time it was for negative yards. This time they're lucky to get 1. That defensive front, again, for Team Grit there in red, is just very, very difficult to handle at the point of attack.
So second down in 9. No 2-minute warning here in your call football.
Again, going back to what Coach Merrill Hodge likes in the passing game, he likes all slants. He likes to, this is a 4 wide receiver set. This could be double slant. It was one of the 3 in the bundle.
There's the slant, tipped, and that is picked off. Intercepted by Quay Cox. It was tipped initially by C.J. Roberts. Solomon Wilcox had talked about turnovers, how he needed his team to get turnovers. They just got the first one of the series.
He spoke with us prior to the game. He said, during the week, we've just created all kinds of turnovers, and we couldn't do it last week. And finally, you get the tip drill, and you've got enough red jerseys around the football to where you come down with it. And this is just a result of not getting great separation by the outside receiving target there, number 6 and B.J. Bunn. Creating a very tight window. The ball goes up in the air. Ball's tipped there by C.J. Roberts from his corner position. Very, very well done defensively there by Team Grit.
So a turnover here on downs. They take over at their own 48-yard line with 1:50 to go and 1 timeout remaining here in this first half. Khalid Abdullah in the backfield here for Team Grit, trailing by 3. The handoff is to Abdullah. Abdullah spins away and makes a nice move to get positive yards up to the 45 of Team Power, picks up 7.
That's a really good run. You got some decisive cuts in line. Able to shift gears a little bit, stop and start. He's one of those guys that just always seems to be falling forward. Not going to see a lot of negative run plays coming out of number 23 there for Team Grit.
2nd down and 3. The clock continues to wind. Here as we approach 1 minute to go.
All right, I like this play call, fans. But you're going to want to go to the side where there's not press coverage. That's going to be the left side of the field.
Norville taking the shot down the field, and that ball is incomplete.
Oh, Trenton Norville, you took the wrong side. This is hitch and go. You go to the side that doesn't have the press corner, which was his left. He goes to the right. He has press coverage. The safety comes off the hash. And man, if he throws this ball to the receiver on the left, it is a touchdown by a mile. And again, that's the pre-snap read that both Solomon Wilcox and Merrill Hodge, if you're sitting there looking at your pre-snap read and you know you've got to hitch and go, and one guy's got off coverage and the other guy's got press coverage, it tells you right off the bat where you're supposed to go with the ball. That's Robert Ford, the receivers coach, talking with Solomon Wilcox, probably saying the exact same thing I just did.
3rd and 3. And that play was blown up. Willie Mays again applying the pressure on Trenton Norville. And his running back was not even looking for the ball. There had to be miscommunication as far as what the play was.
I don't think the running back expected the ball to be thrown that quickly. And what you're doing with that play is you're trying to put that defensive end, in that case right there, big number 9, at a disadvantage. Willie Mays, you want him to hesitate for a second and say, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing with this back that's coming at me? But that time he had no regard for the back and just decided to go after the quarterback and run the gamble, and he was right.
And now a field goal was an option. It was overruled by 3%. Team Grit has taken their final timeout of this half.
Hey, Rossley. Yeah, we got the big guys. We need the big guys.
You don't want if it's out of range. If you want to go 45, so you can do whatever you want.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not going field goal though.
They reset it because they called a new one.
Put up the same one, Coach.
No, we need a new bundle. Get a bundle in there, please.
That's what we want.
Well, hey, Coach.
The fans call it play.
I know, but can you put up the same bundle?
Yeah, you can put up.
You can put up the same bundle.
That's when it had a field goal option, though. But you have a chance now to get
Coach,
three plays that you want. Okay.
Put up the same bundle.
Same bundle, same result. What do we think?
Well, if you're just listening to them talk, you know that they're not calling the field goal. So,
so don't call the field goal?
Don't call the field goal. You just, again, just throwing some nuggets out there.
Let's see what the fans do.
I mean, this is a manageable 4th down here. So your passing game options, you want to get the ball out of your hand quickly.
The fans listened.
Again, I like it. I like the play call. I like the choice. You're going to be in cover 1. You got man-to-man press coverage. Can the receivers get off? No, they can't.
Should there be a flag thrown? There is a flag thrown. The coverage was by Travis Starks. I thought he had the hand on the back of Gary Brown, and let's see if that is going to be the call.
Again, the receiver, you're trying to create separation in a bigger window. That's close, and I can see how in real time.
Pass interference, defense, number 3. The ball we placed at the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
I can see, and
watch
again,
here.
We're seeing
see
it in
that
slow
hand?
motion.
See
yeah.
the hand?
Yeah,
I think he was pulling it.
He was. He's locking the arm of the left arm of the receiver. But again, I reiterate, when you're going to throw those types of routes, it is imperative that the wideout has some type of juice to get out of the break and create separation so that the window for the quarterback is much bigger.
It's 9 yards and a first down with that penalty. So now at the 36-yard line. Team Grit, no timeouts remaining. They can spike the ball if they have a completion over the middle.
See if they take a shot here.
Norville, he will take a shot down the sideline. That ball is tipped up in the air by Khalid Wooten, intended for KJ May.
Now, the action of that play looked like it was supposed to be play action from the quarterback, and they didn't do that. And I think had they done that, they might have been able to keep those safeties a little tighter to the line of scrimmage, figuring they might have come up and play run. You know, I'll be thinking offensively. If you're on defense for team power, you're going to want to be in cover 2. You don't want to give up the big play. You want to be in zone. You don't want to give up one-on-one matchups.
On 2nd and 10, Norville to the sideline. That ball is caught. Back at the line of scrimmage, and there is a flag in the secondary. It's going to be a hold. Brett Thompson made the catch, but it might not matter.
I think it's going to be on big Cortell Jenkins, 92, who was held at the point of attack as he created instant penetration, forcing Trent Norvell to flush from the pocket.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 8.
Oh.
That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Khalid Wooten, who had made the play in the secondary on the previous play, now gets called for a hold. And what this does is, at the very least, it brings Team Grit into field goal position.
Yes, absolutely. And again, points. You're trying to get points, not just points on the board, but the calls that you make.
Points on your own board.
On your own board, that's right.
Right now, 4/10 of a point separate K. Gilmore 223 and LBRH 62. It would be a 48-yard field goal attempt from this point. Mike Weaver did miss from 46. Norville with time. And another flag is thrown. The intended receiver is TJ Martin, Travis Starks, who got called for the hold earlier. It's going to be pass interference against Team Power. Second time for Travis Starks.
And I think the officials are also discussing whether the receiver went out of bounds, came back in, reestablished himself.
The hat was off. Now, was he out because he got pushed out?
Correct.
And they're saying, no, my back is not spazzing. I know it's cold.
Legal contact, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
These penalties starting to mount up for Team Power. They've extended this drive for Team Grit. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 26.
And that's the 3rd penalty in the last 4 plays.
5 for this
game. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to move the ball, I guess just move it any way you can. Do we get points for penalties?
No. They should. I'm going to throw this one up and pray for a pass interference.
Hey, 4 play bundles. One of them's a penalty. You make the call.
31 seconds to go here in this first half. Empty backfield here for Norville. Norville, the quick pass over the middle is incomplete for KJ May. Good job on the coverage. Coming in was Van Smith, and another flag is thrown. This came after the play.
That's just a dumb mental penalty. Totally unnecessary.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 26. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
So that's 4 penalties in the last 5 plays?
You got it.
Man, you know Merrill Hodge is not happy right now.
I mean, time should have expired on this half when the ball was on about the 40-yard line. Really, at the end of the day. With these penalties and the clock stoppages, it's the only reason right now there's 32 yards in penalties on this drive.
Kendall Lawrence is in a tailback, a good receiver out of the backfield, and there was movement that could have been a false start against Lawrence. There is a flag thrown. The ball is caught by Gary Brown for a touchdown. Let's wait to find out what the flag is for. That play should never have happened.
Whether the play stands or is nullified, it was one heck of an effort by Gary Brown.
Offsides, defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is touchdown.
Wow, and that touchdown, the offside was caused by the movement of Kendall Lawrence.
Yep. Watch the right hand of Gary Brown. Just cradles it in.
Wow. Wow. Jordan Holland there on the coverage.
Yeah, and he's got good position. They're battling. He thinks, you know, that truly is the definition of a game of inches.
And now you have to go for a 2-point conversion here in your call football. Think about all those penalties, how the game has just changed because of that. Empty set here for Norville. And Norville completes the pass to Brett Thompson for the 2-point conversion, and just like that, when this game was cruising along, it screeched to a halt because of all the penalties, and now Team Grit leads 8-3.
I was just excited to see that we just had a play without a penalty.
We did?
Just now. It just happened. I know you were accustomed to the exact opposite. Really well thrown ball. Ball gets out of the hand of Trent Norville really quickly. Brett Thompson, the tight end, number 3 receiver there on the trip side, just finds a little open void, makes sure he gets into the end zone. Well executed.
So now Team Power takes over at their own 35 with 20 seconds to go here in this first half. And remember, that entire series for Team Grit started because of a turnover, and then it was extended because of all those penalties. O'Brien gets rid of it quickly. Chuck Jacobs trying to get out of bounds. He does after a pickup of 9 with 13 seconds left. Team Power still does have 2 timeouts remaining. And at this point, you're wondering, can you get yourselves in the field goal range?
Well, let's see if you get 4 verticals. Okay, I would take the 4 vertical play. If you notice, 2 out of the 3 plays in your bundle are 4 verticals. What do you think Merrill Hodge is telling you right now in terms of nudging you and getting you to vote his way?
He's saying, please take the vertical route.
So let's see how this thing unfolds. First off, it looks like Team Grit right now is going to be in cover 1. They are. You're going to have 1 deep safety. I would be going to the left side of the field. More space, better matchup in the slot, more cushion.
Whoa. That would be an offside. Quincy Vassar.
Well,
are they saying it's a false start?
I didn't see one pre-snap.
Encroachment. Okay. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
I think Quincy Vassar's just trying to switch it up. He figured last week when I played by the rules, they couldn't block me. So now I'm just going to try and cheat, see if they still can't block me.
Man.
First and 10 on the 49.
All right. Let's see.
LBRH 62 is leading by just over 2 points.
Oh, you got cover 2. If you've got 4 verticals here, look at either of the 2 slots to give you a chance.
O'Brien dumps it off to Taylor. And now Team Power can use one of those timeouts with 5 seconds, 4 seconds left.
I like the play call. I don't like the option that the quarterback threw to, because now you can't get out of bounds. It didn't give you enough yardage to really truly put yourself in field goal position. I think a little patience there by the quarterback could have given them an option to throw the ball downfield.
With 4 seconds to go here in the half. So 6 seconds, 2 seconds have been added to the clock. The field goal from right here is 61.
They're not calling that.
With 6 seconds to go, if you run a play to the end zone, that's going to do it. That should be the last play of the half. Would you rather have that or dump it off, call a timeout, and get a field goal attempt? If you can get out of bounds.
I don't know if you're going to be able to do that in 6 seconds.
With 1 timeout remaining?
I think it would be tough. I really do. Well, let's see. Let's see if they check it down to the back. 4 verticals here versus cover 1.
O'Brien over the seam makes the catch with 1 second, and a timeout is taken as the catch is made by Blake Mack.
That's the throw I've been talking about, Justin. That's the 4 vertical throw with the 2 slots, whether it's cover 2 or cover 1, that you're going to have almost every single time. And they just haven't taken their shots in attempting to make those throws. Quay Cox, number 27, Blake Mack, number 84. Again, Mack considered to be Team Power's best weapon, particularly on the inside.
With that play, LBRH62 got leapfrogged by 2 players out there. They've got 2 seconds on the clock, and here's the choice that these gamers have to select. Do you take the points with a field goal?
I would.
Or do you try for a touchdown?
No, you got to take the points for the field goal.
Well, let's see what the options will be and what the fans will select. Field goal is an option.
Should be an option twice. Come on, fans.
Josh Gable hit from 50 earlier, and Gable is back on the field again. 89% have said, I want the points.
There we go. Good boys and girls.
It'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt to make it a 2-point game. We'll be joined by Merrill Hodge at the half here to get his thoughts on this first half. And the kick is good. So Josh Gable has all 6 points so far for Team Power. And it looks to be that BW 4466 will win the second quarter. LBRH62 will finish in third, and we are joined by the head coach of Team Power, Merrill Hodge. Coach, thanks for joining us. Want to get your thoughts on what happened in the last minute with your team committing all those penalties and then coming back and getting 3 points to close out the half.
Well, the first part of it, that's where I get the saying, a coach has all the power but no control. We did some dumb things, but we'll clean that up. I talked to it. That's why I pulled a couple of those players off. You know, we're self-inflicted. But that may be the first last 1-minute drive that we've had in your call football history. Actually, it was a pretty good drive with the fans calling great plays and being able to use our timeout. So we ended on a positive note. Let's put it that way.
Coach, you've preached to take what the defense gives you at the quarterback position. How would you assess the performance of your quarterback's ability to do that here in the first 2 quarters?
Actually, overall, pretty good. There's some matchups that I thought he missed, but we talked about it, and I think in the second half we won't miss those matchups.
And, Coach, in that second half, you'll be changing quarterbacks. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You know, I kind of let the game speak to me, and right now Pat's played pretty good.
All right. Coach, thanks so much.
You bet you in.
All right, so that's what we have from Merrill Hodge in the first half as Team Power was able to get 3 points, as he said, in that 1-minute drive. And this was the penalty for the late hit. That was after the play. And again, all these penalties would extend the drive.
Wow.
And that was when they called the offside against Team Power, so it's really a free play essentially for Team Grit. But when you look at it, again, that was one that Team Grit got away with. But guess what? Here in this first half, they lead 8-6 over Team Power. Your Call football players are under the watchful eyes of Dr. Kevin Kaplan and Dr. Michael Yorio of the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. JOI has stepped in as the official sports medicine provider of Your Call football, providing the best in athletic training needs. JOI is a partner to all of Jacksonville's top sports organizations, including the Jacksonville Jaguars and now Your Call football. We will now welcome the head coach of Team Grit here. It's Solomon Wilcots. And, Coach, in that first half, it seemed like Team Power had the edge, but you guys capitalized on a bunch of penalties late to get that touchdown. What was your take from the first half?
Yeah, well, we really do emphasize that our guys play smart, that you keep your cool under pressure, and that things are ultimately going to break our way. We didn't expect it to be pretty in the early going. We knew we would have to weather the storm. We knew Team Power was going to come out and give us their best shot. We believe we weathered the storm now. You're going to see Vantley in the second half. We think we're going to pick up the tempo. We expect our defense to go out and get more takeaways, more turnovers. So I think we're going to play our best ball in the second half.
No, you mentioned that regardless of who's under center for you, you've got packages that both quarterbacks can play within. But what is it that Vadley is going to bring to this offense that maybe we didn't see in the first half in terms of his skill set?
Well, certainly he's got greater escapability, the ability to get out of the pocket and break down the defense. Look for when Team Power plays man, particularly down in the red zone, when the defense turns their back to him, if he can get past that first wave, the first pass rush, look for him to get to the second level and do some damage with his legs. We expect him to be accurate throwing the football and be able to move the chains, I think, a little bit more frequently. So we expect more explosive plays in the second half.
Coach, one last question for you. You told us that you were going to preach and talk about turnovers. You wanted turnovers. You got one. What did you say to your team?
Well, I told them we're going to need more. And in fact, Coach Mark Duffner, he was preaching the same sermon. He said, hey, we need 2 more. We emphasize getting 3 a game. We've got 1. That was our first of the season, but we want 2 more. We expect to get more from this secondary.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
All right, Manifest Distilling, based right here in Jacksonville, is the official post-game gathering spot for Your Call football. Distilling some of the best craft spirits you'll ever taste. Manifest products are available nationally at sealbox.com. I know we're looking forward to dropping by Manifest at 960 East Forsyth Street after the game. Manifest Distilling, where your journey will take you. This was the coin toss earlier in the game. These kids from the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida, they can't go to Manifest Distilling, but Mr. Tom Luganbill, he can, and he can't wait to get there. As the second quarter leaderboard looks like this. As BW 4466 takes home $500, King Big Wheel gets $400, and LBRH62 had that lead, drops to 3rd place for $300.
But just as you pointed out at the end of the first half, how quickly one play call can swing the score. A guy goes from 3rd to 1st off of one play that you don't see coming.
The game leaders, because that's for $5,000. Swaginator 55 with the lead. Cam 32-12 in a tie with Demon Deke. Uh-oh. A Wake Forest fan is out there.
That's fine. Hey, listen, I love it. You got to support the kickers, Justin. They're people too.
That's how Mike Weaver feels right now. Team Grit will start with the ball here in this 3rd quarter as they lead 8-6. Vadley in at quarterback.
Why didn't we run what? Oh, the robber? The one robber?
On first down, the handoff to Briante Dunn gets hit in the backfield by Matt Conroy, and that'll be a loss of 3.
That's just an unblocked defender shooting the gap. When you're not zone blocking and you're man blocking at the point of attack, you don't have anybody to account for that 2nd level defender, which is where Conroy 42 there is coming from his linebacker spot. And now you put yourself in a bit of a situation with 2nd and 14. Changes your play calling options a little bit.
Matt Conroy played his college ball at Salve Regina in Rhode Island, Division III.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's against Cortell Jenkins, and that's one of those mistakes that Merrill Hodge was talking about at half. I mean, you can't do that.
And they're mental mistakes. They're sloppy mistakes that you've got to be able to overcome. If I'm the offense for both of these teams right now, I would be heavy on the hard count. I would really put this team on their heels and force them to be disciplined, because free yardage can come in many, many forms. And we saw a touchdown result off of consecutive penalty plays for Team Grit at the end of the second quarter.
That was the 7th penalty of the game against Team Power. With Vadley in there, with time. Down the sideline, and that ball is broken up beautifully by Jordan Holland. TJ Martin was there, and Jordan Holland was able to get there and break it up.
If Vadley could do this again, he would have thrown this a half a step quicker, because he just ended up being a little late. There was too much air under the ball, and the ball's thrown on the right trajectory. It just was thrown a tad bit late. They had the safety held on the hash. And really, Vadley's throw right there gave the defender an opportunity to make the play.
Not to, make an excuse, but Vadley just did return here to Jacksonville after his wife gave birth.
Today, on an airplane.
No, she didn't give birth on the airplane.
No. He came back today on an airplane, but missed the week of practice. So he certainly was the star of the show a week ago in week 1.
I just wanted to clear that up for the folks in case they were worried. Lee zips one in there to KJ May. And May gets 9 when he needed 8, and they get the first down.
Nice job by KJ May, knowing the line to gain and giving his quarterback a nice window. I've talked about separation and the receiver's ability to give the quarterback a bigger window to throw into. And you can already see, Justin, the confidence of Vadley in terms of, you see him in the pocket, his poise, how he carries himself. He just kind of has this sense that, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to make a play. And this is exactly what happened in week 1. When he came into the game, he lit a fuse, and Team Grit was a totally different football team for the final 2 quarters.
Here on first down, the handoff is to Dunn. Dunn with a good second effort, able to push that pile across midfield, gets 5 yards. So 64% of the fans very happy with that one. This fan is very happy with your call football. This is so cool. First time, won't be my last time. Let's go.
And he has 3 arms.
They're all strong.
Very strong. Good, I'm glad he's enjoying it. It is fun.
The fans here in attendance at the Jacksonville Jaguars practice facility here in Jacksonville, Florida. And it's a 2-point lead for Team Grit. Justin Kutcher alongside Tom Luganbill.
I like this pass play that the fans have called here, because this is a strength of Vadley. He throws the comeback route very, very well. There you go.
A completion here to Thomas Owens, and Owens gets another first down.
Now, I want to really emphasize what I just stated right there. Is you're watching Vadley, and then you see that play call. He throws the comeback well. So when you see that play in your bundle, the coaches feel pretty confident about it too. So start thinking in terms of percentages that, hey, I've got an opportunity to be right here, knowing the strength of the player.
Now the strength right here is that Solomon Wilcox wants a run.
Oh yeah, he does.
All 3 plays in that bundle were runs.
Don't be surprised if he wants to go with the power run, which would be the counter. Let's see the offensive set, see if it gives it away here. Yes, this is what we're going to get, it looks like. Counter left.
Dunn in the backfield. Dunn gets it, and Dunn is going to get wrapped up for a loss here on first down. Reggie Hunter, the first to make contact with him, a loss of 3 on the play.
A lot of penetration there coming from the interior of the defense there, starting with number 54. Sidney Omame, his penetration really created some problems for not only the pulling H-back, but the pulling guard from the opposite side.
So 2nd and 13. Remember, it was 2nd and 13 earlier when it was encroachment against Cortell Jenkins. You're across midfield. No punt available anymore. 4-down territory or going for a field goal.
Oh, look at this play bundle. I see a fan. Do you want to take a shot?
Vadley with time, taking the shot. He's got his man. Touchdown, KJ May. 41 yards. That could be a big swinger here if you're looking at the scoreboard.
Again, this is the hitch and go. Nice job by Vadley, using his eyes to steer the free safety left so he could have all of that room downfield to his right. He ends up getting a nice route there out of KJ May, who stutters like he's going to run the comeback and then takes off again. But it's Vadley's pre-snap and post-snap usage of his eyes that give him that big window down the right sideline.
How about the protection for Vadley?
Really good, really good. Listen, this is what we saw in week 2.
Yeah.
Then when we have our coaches meeting next week, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to say, hey, Solomon, dude, can start this guy on the first snap of the game. Trust me, fans, you'll want him to.
For the 2-point conversion. Lee on that quick slant. He's got it as he slings it into TJ Martin. And now it is 16-6, Team Grit leading here over Team Power. Solomon Wolcott said he felt they kind of withstood that initial surge by Team Power, and now they've got their man in at quarterback.
Well, they do. And you know, I asked Solomon Wolcott today, I said, are you not going to start Vadley? He said no, and he said, here's the interesting thing about it. We talked about it last week going into week 1. He was going to be our starter, and then we were going to play both of the players, and he came to Coach Wilcox and says, well, I want to be the second half guy.
He wants to be the closer for his team. And already a lot of points on the board here in this third quarter. 31.6 points the two leaders have right now.
They need to make him the starter and the closer, and then they'd probably have 32 points instead of 16.
And guess who's here in attendance? Jim Furyk, great PGA golfer. Furyk, his career low round was a 58. These fans trying to match the 58 points here in this third quarter.
Well, let me tell you what's coming, all right? Justin, your call golf ball is coming.
A your call golf ball or your call golf?
Well, I'm going to call it your call golf ball because it's got a nicer feel and a sound to it. So what I figure is every shot you take, then you as the fan get to determine, all right, here's your club of choice, all right, and give you some wind and all of those sorts of things, and you play it with golf.
Jim Furyk learning right now how to play with the president of Your Call Football, Julie Maringer.
Julie, make sure he picks correctly.
Furyk shot that 58 in the 2016 Travelers Championship. Second down and 7. O'Brien. He completes that pass for a pickup of 5. Well, the leaderboard right now, again, so close. Alex F6 now in the lead at 33.6. 3rd and 2 coming up here for Team Power.
And this is where you have a struggle if you're Team Power and as a play caller, because you don't feel confident that your offensive line can get considerable push in the run game. So you're rolling the dice if you choose to run it right at the teeth of this Team Grit defensive front.
Silas Redd is the tailback for Team Power. It is Redd on the handoff. He's able to break through and get the first down. Silas Redd gets 6 yards here on 3rd down. And now he's got some words here
And that was the old weak side lead play. The formation strength is off to the left, but you run it weak side, and Brandon caught him, number 88. That's twice now we've seen him at the point of attack really be good, leading the charge there up through the hole. He's the lead blocker on that. And now you've got 1st and 10. You haven't crossed the 50-yard line yet, though. So you still do have 3 downs and a potential punt opportunity until you cross the 50-yard line.
I don't think Merrill Hodge will be very happy if they can get 1 yard to cross the 50.
Well, I'll tell you right now, so far on the offensive side, it's been a struggle for them to get some yardage on the ground. They better go through the air.
It's the handoff to Silas Red again, and they will get across the 50 as Red gets 2 here on 1st down, 2nd down and 8.
You know, I got a feeling with some of these runs and some of these selections that Merrill Hodge has taken.
Things are getting real chippy on the field, too. The officials have now had to come in to clean things up.
They will turn this car right around, Justin.
Don't make me make that call.
Yeah, it's exactly right. But I get the feeling that we're going to see in a bundle coming up here a couple of plays that could be meant to get that defense to suck up and play the run and take a shot over the top. Right now, you, the fans, like the double slant.
This was the play which we saw the interception. Now we've got 2 flags coming in as Penton was in there too early against Chuck Jacobs. And there is a lot of chirping going on the field.
Pass interference, defense, number 7. The ball will be spotted at the spot of the foul, automatic 1st down.
What's interesting about all the chippiness, Justin, is these players know each other.
Yeah.
And they practice against each other every single day. That was not an ideal route. That was not a great route run there to give the quarterback an opportunity to complete that football, but contact early prior to the ball's arrival.
Well, that might be the reason why we're seeing all this chippiness, because they do practice against each other all the time. They're like, you know what, I'm sick of you. But now they want to get out there for the game, and they want to show what they can really do.
All right, we've got 1st down. Defense is going to be in cover 2, so they're going to run the football here.
It's Silas Red. Silas Red trying to get outside. He really can't. A good job by Pierre Tucker staying with him, never allowing him to turn the corner. He'll get 3 yards there.
And again, that play wasn't meant to bounce outside. That play is meant to go up inside. You see the angle right there. If he sticks his foot in the ground and gets north and south, he's going to gain more yardage than he tries to run sideline to sideline against what is a very fast front for defense and Team Grit.
And 7.
2nd down and 7.
We're going to try, and the read's going to take him to the right and then backside to the dig route.
O'Brien pump fakes. On the run, throws to the sideline. It's incomplete. For the tight end, Brandon Cotton.
It's unfortunate there that there wasn't enough time for Patrick O'Brien in the pocket, because had there been and he got into the progression, he would have been able to hit the dig route coming across the backside. It would have been wide open with Chuck Jacobs running it. And again, that's where the pressure comes from Team Grit. This is where the difference was between last week's game and this week's game is up front for this team in red. They have just overwhelmed Team Power on the passing game for the majority of 1 game and 2 quarters so far.
And you could go as far as to say for Team Power, this is a situation where they need to convert. They need to score on this with Vadley now as the quarterback for Team Grit. Empty backfield here on 3rd and 7. There's a flag. It's a free play. And O'Brien gets sacked. The ball comes loose. And it's still loose. Finally, it's picked up by Toby Johnson. And it's not going to matter. The forced fumble by D. Brown, but it's going to be all for naught, as this is going to be offside against Team Grit.
Big Keontae Anderson.
Offside. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Just a little early on the trigger there for 95. You see the left part of your screen. You're going to see I'm not so sure he crossed over. Tough angle there.
Well, now as opposed to 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 2, and you've got 2 downs to get these 2 yards.
This is an area where Team Power likes to use the backs out of the backfield, get them involved in the passing game a little bit.
Josh Robinson in the backfield. Again, the hard count, the handoff to Robinson. Robinson trying to spin and fall his way backwards to the 1st down yardage. Is going to be very, very close. It could be 4th and short, a very short coming up.
This is the weak side lead. Once again, we saw them have success with this early on in the series, in this particular series.
It's going to be 4th and just about 1.
This is when you tell your big boys up front, this is on you.
The field goal is an option, but I don't like the field goal option. Not here. Not when you're down by 10.
I think they're gonna end up running the football here. Count on the offensive line. Say, hey, listen, we need you to make a play here. We got to get a half a yard.
Robinson goes out. The fans know what they want. 74% have chosen this play. And guess what? That play is going to be stuffed. Will Smith comes up to make the tackle for a loss of 2 against Patrick O'Brien, and a flag has come in.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 93. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
A huge, costly penalty against Roderick Henderson. Let's take a look. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Easy, big fella.
And you know what? It was unnecessary.
Yep.
He's not getting the 1st down. His forward momentum is stopped. The play's over. And again, some of the penalties that we've seen here tonight have been mental errors and silly penalties, just coach killers.
41.4, Alex F6 is in the lead as the clock will wind down, and that will be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So that means $500 is coming your way, Alex F6. J Hart 10 in 2nd, Matt H8 is in 3rd for the 3rd quarter. And Adidas, the official outfitter of Your Call Football, is here to create. They've done just that with the Audi Zero, the lightest cleat in football.
You know, Justin, I had a chance to spend some time looking at the Prevent biometric system for monitoring head impact, and it's really impressive. Coaches, sports medicine professionals, anyone else involved in the athletic management should look into this system when it comes to being able to diagnose, or maybe more so than anything else, prevent what could be head injuries. We hear so much about concussions, but when you're being able to get an active measurement on the actual human being while he is performing to give you a sense of, you know, what that kid's capable of. Do we need, as an athletic trainer or a medical staff, to pull that kid back a little bit? Have we not pushed him hard enough? To get that real-time data is invaluable for player safety.
It's why I wear one when I work with you.
And you should. I got flailing elbows everywhere.
Well, if you love unique craft spirits and are of legal drinking age, you need to visit sealbox.com, home of the exceptional Manifest distilling lineup and much more. Sealbox has curated an amazing collection of small batch spirits and wines from around the country.
Ooh.
Use the promo code YCF and receive 20% off your initial order. Tom Luganbill just placed an order.
Yeah, I just got a text, and I've been told that you have been cut off and will not be allowed to partake in said activities.
I didn't know I was of legal age. Well, Alex F6 wins the third quarter. J Hart 10 gets $400. Matt H8. You think Matt's a hater? 38.5. Team Power is dancing right now on the fields and the sidelines.
I hope they're focusing on execution.
Not dabbing?
Yeah.
Well, right now they're hoping maybe they can capitalize off that penalty, which Team Grit did at the end of the first half. They capitalized off many penalties from Team Power. Here's one more trivia question for you. Which of the following most accurately defines the strong side of an offensive formation in football? The side with the best wide receiver, the side with the best offensive lineman, the side with the tight end.
It's not the top two.
Process of elimination. Strong side, weak side.
Play side.
So we move to the fourth quarter here in Jacksonville. 16-6. Team Grit leading Team Power. But Team Power has the ball first and 10 from the 19-yard line of Team Grit. You see the bundle, Mr. Luganbill. What do you like?
I like the top play right there. I think this is a chance to take a shot, get the heavy play action, the heavy run action. And when we talked to Merrill Hodge about this, he says on early downs, if I get a chance in the red area, we're going to show run, get those guys to come up and charge towards the line of scrimmage and hopefully get a little freebie behind them and see if they pull it off.
Nope.
Nope, not
they don't
this
want
formation.
What you want.
No, they don't.
It was narrowly beaten out by 1%. The nice cutback here by Taylor.
But they didn't agree with the coach.
Nope. A 5-yard play, and a player is down here for Team Grit. It looks like it's Trey Mitchell. We were lucky we didn't see any injuries in week 1. Oh, no. Trey Mitchell is the player down. They've gotten to him right away. We don't want to speculate on anything.
The important thing is that the medical staff immediately got to him. As they look to stabilize him and try to make a diagnosis of where to proceed next.
Trey Mitchell played his college ball at Eastern Illinois. We didn't see what happened initially. Let's take a look here. It looked like he got a leg or something to the head, neck area. But the good news is he is now getting up.
I'm going to see him come right there. He just got awkwardly kind of torqued as he was going down, making initial contact, and you see the neck and the hip area.
And when you see him get up and you see him walking off, you can't help but just breathe a sigh of relief. He'll be looked at more so on the sideline now. But it's great to see Trey Mitchell is at least walking off under his own power. It's 2nd and 5 from the 14 here for Team Power.
At the 14-yard line.
42% of the fans have called for this pass play. Empty backfield here for Patrick O'Brien. O'Brien, he's going to run with it this time, and he will slide to avoid any hit. And he's very close to that first down marker, and he does have the first down.
That's a smart play there by Patrick O'Brien, because they catch the defense in man-to-man, which means there's really nobody to account for the quarterback. So if things aren't there and aren't ideal, take off and run. That's just another way of taking what the defense gives you. It's exactly what Merrill Hodge is asking out of his quarterback.
It's first and goal from the 9 here for Team Power. 10th play of this drive. Well, it's a play that hasn't run too well so far for Team Power. Will it change here with Levance Taylor in the backfield? Taylor takes it. Levance Taylor will get tackled by Lewis. A pickup of 4, so second and goal from the 5 is coming up.
Well, and you were right, Justin. That had been a play that had been failing miserably because they haven't been able to block it correctly at the point of attack. Do a much better job that time, and Levance Taylor makes the most of the run. I think you're going to see the option route by the 2 slots right here. You're going to get 4 wides. All right, the hope is that you get yourself an opportunity to cross the goal line as a receiving target and settle into the open void.
Team Power looking for its first touchdown of this Your Call football series.
It was double option, and that's what you've called as the fan. I like this call here. Let's see which side they choose.
Don't get a big head. Only 46% agreed with you. On second and goal, does it work? There's a flag thrown in the backfield as the ball is caught, taken down to the 1. A 4-yard pickup. Blake Mack makes this catch, and let's wait to see what the flag will be.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 93. Penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's the second personal foul against Roderick Henderson on this drive.
Yeah.
And that's one of those where, you know, he could be pulled by the coach just saying, enough.
Yeah, he's not playing well with others right now. Just, I love the aggressive nature, but be smart.
It's going to be first and goal now from the 1. It's automatic first down. It's actually inside the 1, really. Levance Taylor in the backfield. Taylor takes the handoff. Taylor trying to fall forward and dive under somebody. He's going to come up short. Second and goal from the 1.
Credit Taylor there because he just stuck his foot in the ground like we've talked about. Didn't try and create, which would have probably resulted in a negative play, and just fell forward.
I wish we had a Walter Payton play in there, just called over the top.
Over the top. Really what I'd like to see them do is do some quarterback run and use the running back and the tight end as a blocker to get an extra man advantage offensively against the defense.
Silas Redd is in now at tailback. Redd takes the handoff, and Redd, did he cross the plane? And they're going to say no, he did not. Get stuffed.
Tough to get some push there. The point of attack.
So now third and goal from the 1 is coming up.
This would have been a great play opportunity for a little pop pass. And Merrill Hodge talked about that this week, is that being If you get inside the 5-yard line, potentially being part of the bundle, didn't see it here on this drive, at least not on 3rd down.
It's Josh Robinson now in at tailback. And with that hard count right there, it's going to be encroachment against Quincy Vassar again. It's going to be a difference of about a half a yard.
Well, and really it's the only thing that Team Power is going to call.
There's 2 fouls. Encroachment, defense, number 99. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, defense, roughing the passer. Excuse me. Unnecessary roughness, defense, number 99. That penalty is half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's the important part right there, the automatic first down. Again,
Sure.
These penalties are just senseless.
And what I was getting at with the hard count, you know, a week ago and really in the first half of this game, Team Power just could not block Team Grit. And so their counter to that and to neutralize that pass rush is the hard count, and it's worked.
Yeah.
To their credit, they've done a great job with their discipline, holding their water. Now, that pop pass I referenced one play ago where you're going to try and get this defense to expect run and then pull up and pop it to one of the
Tim
two
Tebow
inside.
play.
Yeah, really, the Tim Tebow play.
They don't get it, though.
Let's see.
61% say no. Told you, don't get a big hit. The handoff to Robinson, trying to get a half a yard, and he still can't get it, and now he fumbles the ball. Let's see if he was down or not, and do they... Think about what this Team Grit has done. It's not going to be a fumble, but think about what they've done. They've come up with 4 consecutive stops at the 1.
They have. And it's because they've been better, they've been lower, and they've been more physical at the point of attack. Not only was that ball out, it was out, and nobody jumped on it to recover it. Where's my pop pass? Coach.
15th play of the drive is coming up. There's only 5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter.
This thing is draining. And to be honest with you, right now, Team Grit is okay with how this is being played. There's not going to be enough time. Even if they do score a touchdown,
it's going to be really close. Silas Red is back in. Silas Red goes over the top, gets turned over, and he comes in for the touchdown. Walter Payton-like.
That's what you wanted,
That's what I wanted.
All right.
I made the call.
You did make the call. And fans, nice choice. That was the coach's call as well. Woo. Held on to the ball there.
That used to be one of my favorite plays to see in football. Thank you, Silas, for bringing it back. So now the 2-point conversion. A chance to make it a 2-point game with 4:50 to go. And Lugs, you were just saying how they may not have a chance. If they can convert here,
right,
you may have the chance to make the stop defensively, get the ball back, and at the very worst, attempt a field goal.
Correct.
That drive took 14 minutes and 8 seconds.
Look at the play call selection. You're looking at either of the 2 slot receivers. I would go to the left with a pre-snap alignment, go for number 84. That's Mack in the slot. Throw it now.
It's incomplete, looking for Chuck Jacobs. So now Team Power will need a touchdown in order to win this game. They only have 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
That puts a lot of pressure on you not getting that conversion, Justin. It really does.
I felt like when you said throw it now, it was too late. It was almost like a Spaceballs moment. Now, when? Just now. When do we pass now? Just then.
Roger, over, Roger.
Well, the leaderboard right now, look at what we have. Yes, again, another tight game. Brez in the lead. Swaginator 55 is looking for a big payout. AJP is in 3rd right now. Remember, for the end of the game, $5,000 for the winner, $2,500 to 2nd place, $1,000 to third. Serious money. Vadley in at quarterback. And the handoff here is to Kendall Lawrence, who gets hit in the backfield by Matt Conroy, a loss of 3. And you got to be wondering now, if your team power, do you start taking a timeout if you make a play on this next down?
Yeah, potentially. I think you do. You know, it's interesting. It seems like a little bit of a momentum burst has helped out team power here by getting that touchdown, putting them back into this football game. You see a little energy along their front.
I want to see how smart the fans are playing right now. Do they try to play to run the clock out, or do they want more plays called to get more points?
Correct. And right now in the run game, your play call may result in a negative tally.
On 2nd and 14. Vadley, incomplete pass with 3:55 to go. Chris Hubert, the intended receiver, so now 3rd and 14 is coming up.
Well, and that's what you wanted to have happen, because now the timeout doesn't need to be called. The clock stops. Get a chance to kind of think things over a little bit. You look at your play bundle right now. I mean, Justin, they could play it conservative here and run the football, all right, punt, and force team power to have to go the length of the field with limited time and actually score a touchdown, not just a field goal.
Team power has to make the stop here as Vadley gets out of the pocket. He's running, trying to get the first down, and he does just that. There is a flag in the backfield, though. It's a 15-yard scramble by Vadley, but let's hold off and see what the flag is for.
Holding, offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
Xavier Dampier called for the penalty here that negates that 15-yard run by Vadley.
But it was what Vadley did that no other quarterback on either team is capable of doing, and that's creating and making plays on his own when the initial play breaks down. Look at Vadley. He doesn't force the football. His eyes are up, but he realizes, I better take what the defense gives me, and that's using my legs.
So 3:45 to go. And 3rd and 23.
And be thinking how critical missing out on that 2-point conversion was if your team power and you have limited time if and when you get the football back.
And again, if you're team power, you have to make the stop.
Yep.
Lee moves out to his right, throws on the run, and completes the pass to Brett Thompson, who will be short of the first down marker. A 20-yard completion, so now it's 4th and 3. And I've got to say, you've got to punt.
I think you punt. You punt because now the play clock is continuing to roll down. So is the game clock. Team power outside of one series in this entire game has not been able to move the football. Force them to prove that they could win the game and get another touchdown.
And force them to go essentially the length of the field.
That's right.
%82% want the punt. That's what we will do. We will move the ball 40 yards. And under 3 minutes with 2 timeouts remaining. The ball will be placed at the 18-yard line of team power. So how aggressive are the fans here to open up this series for team power? I know what you're thinking. Really? Hoods in Jacksonville? Yeah, we could use winter coats tonight.
Hoods? We need parkas. Merrill's old school, though. He's a fullback, tailback hybrid guy. He short sleeves.
Short sleeves. No question. O'Brien has played the entire game at quarterback here for Team Power. On first down, O'Brien going down the sideline, underthrows his receiver, and it's picked off by Arian Penton. Chuck Jacobs, the intended receiver, and that was almost too easy for Penton.
Everything about that play for Patrick O'Brien was correct outside of driving the football. He just laid it up there. He was able to hold the safety with his eyes and the play fake to the right. If he drives this ball downfield, Chuck Jacobs is running down the sideline and they've got themselves a shot. This is just a poorly thrown football with not enough power.
Was that a play on words for Team Power?
Yeah, team lack of power on that particular play.
Well, remember what Solomon Wolcott said. They wanted at least 2 more turnovers.
Right.
They just got 1 turnover in a big spot.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you need. And he felt so good about how they've created turnovers as a team during practice each and every day. Weren't able to get one in week 1. They want 3 per game. They've got 2 now. And to your point, Justin, at the most critical moment of the game, they got the most important turnover.
Khalid Abdullah is in there at halfback. I would expect a heavy dose of him. He'll take the handoff. Abdullah up to the 43 of Team Power, gets 6.
And as you're looking at your play bundles here, any type of run that you see that's an inside run, take your percentages there. Don't take something that could bounce outside. Now you're relying on the player to have the savvy and wherewithal to understand that he's got to stay in bounds.
You got to think this is a mistake right here in the bundle because all 3 are pass plays.
Big mistake in my opinion, but I'd go with the safest pass play, and that was the 3rd one on the bottom with your comebacks on the outside. And remember, that's a route that he throws very, very well, and then your quick 5-yard outs by the 2 inside slots.
This might be one of those where they say, hey, Van, just pretend there's nobody open and run.
Wow.
He will throw. He takes a shot, and that is nearly picked off. Khalid Wooten was there on the coverage of Thomas Owens, and oh my goodness.
Now that play needed to be, and that ball, again, very dangerous. If you're going to throw this football, you better throw it up the field and over the top, but not to the inside and slightly underthrown. Very fortunate to not have that ball intercepted.
It's 3rd and 4. Remember, they're across the 50, so they cannot punt.
I'm still trying to figure out why they were throwing it anyway. Why the throws were in the bundle as opposed in terms of giving the fan the opportunity to truly make the right call.
Even in this bundle, there are 2 pass plays and 1 run play. And it is the run play picked by the fans. And Abdullah will be stopped at the 41. He gets 2, so 4th down is coming up. No timeout taken here by Team Power to stop the clock. All right, so Team Power does take the timeout. Let's see if they'll reset the clock to something else, not 121. Well, the quarter leaderboard is close yet again. Chris G8, nearly a 2-point lead, but second place and third place is close. But here's what we really care about. Swaginator 55, 156.1. Brez, HAP. It looks like those 3 are in pretty safe position, but the overall series leader, AJP, has a lead over Shane S1. Oskandal T, who won our first game for $5,000. He is in 3rd place right now. Remember, the overall 4-game series pays out $10,000. Second place is $5,000. Third place is $2,500. For the games, the winner gets $5,000. Second place $2,500. Third place $1,000. It's 4th and 2. So the fans have spoken. They want a run play. Kendall Lawrence is in the backfield. Can Team Power come up with a stop here on 4th and 2 to get the ball back? Lawrence, the answer is no. Kendall Lawrence has the first down, and that should close out the game for Team Grit. Now here is where this game becomes so interesting. The game is over, right? You can't take a knee. You got to run a play.
Right.
So for the gamers at home, as they're winding down this game, they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I call to make sure that I stay in the lead?
I know, and to be honest with you, there's no right answer to give you. Really what the right call is don't fumble.
Don't fumble or don't take a negative play.
Yeah, don't take a negative play. And so any of the 3 plays is the right call depending on whether or not the team executes at the point of attack.
The handoff, Abdullah, it's not a negative play. He does get popped by Bobby Baker, who's made a couple of nice tackles, but that was a carry of 6. And if I'm Bobby Baker, I don't talk trash right now because I'm losing. And that's something that I think Merrill Hodge will address to his guys.
He's going to have
guys,
to.
You're losing.
You're over there dancing.
You don't talk smack.
And you're over there dancing on the sideline to start the 4th quarter.
And that is the final play of this game as Team Grit defeats Team Power 16-12. We'll get you the leaderboards in just a moment. It looks like this 4th quarter leaderboard, Chris G8 has won by 0.4 of a point against Brandon M. So you wonder how that last play just impacted this game. Our post-game wrap is presented by Manifest Distilling, the post-game gathering spot of Your Call Football. Manifest Distilling just down the road from where we are right now. It's where you'll see us in a few minutes. But first, how about the big-time play made by Gary Brown in that 2nd quarter? Was able to stay in bounds somehow, some way, in reach for the pylon as he got in there for the touchdown, and we now welcome in Gary Brown. Gary, thanks for joining us. Want to get your thoughts on that exact touchdown we just showed. Were you able to stay in bounds and reach for the pylon? Did you know you stayed in bounds?
Honestly, when I caught it, I looked down at my feet and made sure I was in bounds. Once I saw that, I just stick the ball out.
You know, Gary, what is it about this team that seems to change when Bad League comes into the football game in the 2nd half?
I just feel like our offense gets just that much more confidence when he comes in the game, and we just all work together as a team, and we just all come together. I just feel like that's just how we've been in the past couple of weeks, and I feel like we're just getting stronger as we keep playing.
Hey, Gary, what's it like playing in this Your Call football and knowing that you're now 2-0?
It's fun, man. We came in, Grit was 0-4 from last season, hearing a lot of crap from them, so it feels good to get a 2-0 start already.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Gary Brown with that touchdown catch in that first half, which really was a situation where Team Grit capitalized on all those penalties by Team Power. And you're wondering if you're Merrill Hodge, you have to think he's going to address his team about penalties and then about just playing the right way.
Yeah, focus and discipline. And the bottom line is we're out here to execute and win the football game and not get distracted by hooting and hollering and dancing and celebrating when you're behind and you really don't have a chance to win at the end of the game. Those are areas that he's got to address with his football team. And listen, there is one thing that stands out when we've seen now 2 games of this 4-game schedule, Justin, and that is that Vadley, the quarterback, that man right there for Team Grit, changes the game. And I'm going to be very interested, and I think fans as play callers need to be very interested as to what they decide to do at quarterback going forward. Because if I'm Solomon Wilcox, I could find myself being ahead by 2 touchdowns or maybe 17 points in the first half, as opposed to coming up with that total in the second half if I choose to start Vadley for 4 quarters.
Well, we are joined down on the field by the man who had the touchdown for Team Power going over the top. It is Silas Red. And Silas, I've never had the chance to do that in a game. I've always wanted to. What's it like going over the top?
Man, they say the AF there is better, so I try to give it a shot, man. They're just trying to do whatever I can to help the team and get in the paint.
Silas, what has to happen now after 2 consecutive losses where maybe you guys just haven't been as sharp as this team was a year ago after going 4-0? What has to happen for this team to get on track and start executing consistently?
Well, that's the thing. We just got to start executing better. And, you know, it starts with the little things. Too many penalties, a little bit too much talking, not worrying about what we have to do to make plays. And, you know, once we clean that up, I think we'll be good. It's not a lot, just the little things.
Silas, who does that? Is it Merrill Hodge? Is it you? Is it one of the leaders on the team? Who's able to reach the other guys?
I think it's all hands on deck. You know, we all collabed, you know, well together. It starts with the head, and you know that obviously that's Coach Haji, and we all have to do our separate things to bring the whole thing together. And next week we'll do that.
You know, what's this experience, Silas, been like for you to get back on the field, get back involved in professional football, and hope to, you know, further extend your career?
I'm just happy to be here, man. It's, you know, it's been 3.5 years since I put pads on. You know, my career ended late 2016, so I'm just grateful to be out here. It's another opportunity to play ball. I feel great, and you know, just a testament to how fun, you know, this league is, and you know, how it's a platform for players like myself and all these guys out here to get back to where we think and where we want to be.
Well, Silas, we appreciate your time and enjoy the air up there. I've always wanted to know what that's like.
I appreciate y'all, boys, man. God bless.
All right.
All right.
All right, so this is the situation here as Team Power loses its 2nd straight to Team Grit. In addition to the $5,000 cash prize, game winners following verification will receive a $150 credit at sailbox.com, your one-stop shop for the America's Best Craft Spirit offerings. And this is what our leaderboards look like. For the quarter, how about this? Chris G8 won by 0.4 of a point over Brandon M. Web Crew finished in 3rd with 36. So $500, $400, and $300. The game winner, Swaginator 55, takes home $5,000 by 0.2 of a point over Brez. AJP at 154.6 is in 3rd. And then the series leader, AJP, he's trying to take home that $10,000. Shane S1 is in 2nd right now. Ryan G8 in 3rd with 2 more games to go. And Tom Luganville, as those players are trying to count their money at home while it's verified. What do you take away now and leading into Game 3 next week?
Well, we've now been through 2 iterations of this. And as a player for Your Call Football, you should start getting a real sense for what's working, maybe where the struggles are. I think if I were to make my assessments, there's things that I would stay away from in the run game, given the state of both offensive lines, knowing that who you are at quarterback and what you're not at quarterback. It will really give you a sense of which plays to maybe stay away from in your 3-play bundles as you go forward, because you're starting to gain an understanding of the strengths and the weaknesses of both schemes, but also of the players operating those schemes.
So what you're saying, in other words, is when you're calling plays at home, you have to know the strengths and weaknesses of your own team in order to call the best plays.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So you have to be like a coach.
That's what the whole purpose of.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make
sure.
You're
on the right track.
Hey, you know what? It is your call, though. We've got more Your Call football coming your way next Monday night after Team Grit takes Game 2 of this series against Team Power, 16-12. We will see you next Monday night, same time, same place here in Jacksonville.